So friends, today this is my next lecture on gender studies. This is the second portion of gender studies syllabus. I will touch these topics and I will tell you how to prepare these topics. For example, you go and you search these topics in different like websites, and you get a lot of information, and then you write your own notes based on those information. So the topic social construction of gender, historicizing constructionism, problematizing the category of sex, queer theory, is sex socially determined? Two, masculinities and feminism, nature versus culture, a debate in gender development. So you see these topics, and these are apparently very complicated topics. So what you do, you just go to different websites, especially Wikipedia, and you search each and every word. For example, for social construction of gender, you must understand constructionism. What is constructionism? So when we see the word construction, so it comes to our mind that we are going to construct something. But this is not so simple here. We have to understand constructionism. So when I go to Wikipedia and I see constructionism, so there are different kinds of constructionism. What is important in gender studies, that is social constructionism, or the social construction of reality. Also, social concept is a theory of knowledge in sociology and communication theory that examines the development of jointly constructed understandings of the world that form the basis for shared assumptions about reality, also known as tulpa. The theory centers on the notions that human beings rationalize their experience by creating models of the social world and share and reify these models through language. Now, it is a very interesting thing, constructionism. Sometimes we construct, and there is a word tulpa, T-U-L-P-A, tulpa. Tulpa is imaginary friend, that sometimes we create things in our imagination, and those things do not exist in reality. So constructionism, when we are utilizing our mental capabilities and we are constructing things in our mind, and those things may not exist in reality, in physicalism, in realism, when we cannot touch, it cannot be a scientific phenomena that we can touch or we can feel it by our five senses. So then that is called constructionism. So gender, for example, sometimes we have constructed gender and gender does not exist in reality. It may be a tulpa, it may be a reality which we have made in our minds, but this reality does not exist. We cannot touch it. For example, where is gender? This is just a social phenomena. We call somebody that you are a male or you are a female. We construct it in our minds. So this is called constructionism. This is in sociology, it's a theory of knowledge, and we should try to understand because we rationalize things. Rationalization means that sometimes to our own benefit, to our own understanding, we construct things and those things do not exist. Those things are intangible, those things are not concrete, so we construct things. So when you go in Wikipedia, you can understand social constructionism, the social construction of reality. This is a theory of knowledge, how we construct tulpa, T-U-L-P-A, imaginary friend. Sometimes we construct, things in our mind, our friends, and those do not exist. So gender is one of the things that we go and we construct it in our mind according to the theory of constructionism, social constructionism. Now we go to the next topic, and that is queer theory. Now, queer, the word queer means something which is strange. For example, we have binary notion of genders. So we have either male or female in our mind, especially in Eastern society, Oriental societies, not in Occidental societies, not in the West. But in the East, the people consider that human beings are categorized either male or female. So this is called binary notion of sex or gender. We don't even construct a reality that there can be another gender also. Although I have given a post in this group that there are 5 genders, not 2. So how we make the categories of sex? So there is a theory which is called queer theory. It is a field of post-structuralist critical theory. This queer theory, when we see the world, so we should not take it as it is. Try to think over it, and we should look up the meaning of queer, and we should see that it is a post-structuralist critical theory. Post-structuralist means that we have structures in our mind. When we construct, so we make different structures. Post-structuralist is beyond structuralism, and which is a critical theory, which may be post-modernist, that we challenge whatever is there, and we criticize, we challenge the existing notions. So post-structuralist critical theory that emerged in the early 1990s out of the fields of queer studies and women studies. Queer theory includes both queer readings of text and the theorization of queerness itself. Heavily influenced by the work of, there are different philosophers, and they have made queer theory. Queer theory builds both upon feminist challenges to the idea that gender is part of the essential self, and upon gay, lesbian studies, close examination of socially constructed nature of sexual acts and identities. Now, sexual acts and identities, male or female, we have tried to understand that what are different sexual acts and how we socially construct different identities like male, female, transgender. Whereas gay, lesbian studies focused its inquiries into natural and unnatural behavior with respect to homosexual behavior, queer theory expands its focus to encompass any kind of sexual activity or identity that falls into normative and deviant categories. There are 2 kinds of categories, like sex categories. One is normative, normally. For example, in our society, the people will say that you are either male or female, and that is enough to identify your sex or your gender. So this is called normative. Other people may call it deviant. The word deviant means that which is not normal. In our society, the people don't consider it normal. For example, in our society, if you say I'm a gay or I'm a lesbian, so people consider deviant, that you are not on the right path. This is not normal. So when something is not normal, so we call it deviant. So Italian feminist and Teresa coined the term queer theory for a conference she organized in the University of California. For the first time, this was in 1990, that she used the word queer theory. Queer theory focuses on mismatches between sex, gender, and desire. There are 3 things here: sex, which is biological; gender, which is social; and desire. You can have desire to do like sex, or you can have, sometime even a normal person, you are not gay, but you may go for men, and you are not lesbian, but you may like a lesbian. You have a particular desire to have sexual interaction or intercourse with of your same sex. So this is, desire, sex, gender, and desire. The queer theory focuses on mismatches between sex, gender, and desire. Queerness has been associated most prominently with bisexual, lesbian, and gay subjects, but its analytical framework also includes such topics as cross-dressing, intersex bodies and identities, gender ambiguity, and gender corrective surgery. In queer theory, for example, mainly this discusses bisexual. Some people may be gay as well as lesbian. You like both male and female, so you are bisexual. Lesbian only female, gay only male. So, but its analytical framework also includes such topics as cross-dressing. Sometimes, some people, they are male apparently, but they would like to be dressed as female. So this is called cross-dressing. Intersex, between two sexes, male and female, bodies and identities, gender ambiguity. Sometimes you are not clear. There is no clarity that what is your gender. You are confused. That either you are male or you are female. So there is confusion. And gender corrective surgery, there are people that they are born male, but they would like to be female, and then they do gender corrective surgery. They want to change their gender. They don't want to remain male, either male or female. So queer theories attempted debunking of stable and correlated sexes, genders, and sexualities developed out of the significantly lesbian and gay reworking of the post-structuralist figuring of identity as a constellation of multiple and unstable positions. There are, in our society, the positions of sex, these are stable. But these stable, in the queer theory, we make it unstable. That this is not like exactly you are either male or female. No, they challenge, and this is why this theory is highly important. Queer theory examines the discourses of homosexuality developed in last century in order to place the queer into historical context, deconstructing contemporary arguments both for and against the latest terminology. Deconstructing means that they are going against the usual categorization or the usual understanding of sex and gender. Now, the next question is sex socially determined too? Okay. This is really something very, very interesting, because gender now there is almost consensus. Many people, they understand that gender is socially constructed. This is society which gives you the role of either male or female or other genders, transsexual or other genders. But is sex also socially determined? So this is, still, there is a huge debate. I have given some articles in this group. Is sex socially determined too? So when a baby is born in a hospital, and a nurse announces that a female baby is born or a male baby is born, so the society accepts the sex. But there are now studies that, like, what is the male genitalia or the female genitalia, the sex organs, these are just proportionally different. One is longer, the other is smaller. Otherwise, we call somebody male or female, the sex of male and female. This is also socially constructed. This is not biologically. Biology has nothing to do with your sex. So this is a new studies, and there is a lot of interesting things about this things. So far, I myself, I'm studying this phenomena, that I'm sure that gender is socially constructed. Society makes you either male or female, your role. Because, for example, a female in a kitchen cooking, so this is in our society that she is good for cooking, while in other societies she may be a truck driver also. So this is gender. Now sex, either you are male or female, this is it also by society or it is by biology? So there is a controversy, and this is a very interesting field for you people, that you may just think over it, that whether sex is also by biology or it is by society. So when we talk about biology and we talk about sociology or society, so the next question is nature and nurture, or nature or culture. By nature we are so, or culture, society make us so. So this is another debate in gender development. So in this lecture, I try to discuss with you these topics. I have given some technical details in the post. Please go and read those technical details. Make yourself open. If you have some questions, so please ask me. I'm going to finish this lecture now. That is a bromance, sir. I think homosexuality in men. Yeah, homosexuality is a phenomena which can be between men and men, or male and male, or female and female. That is also homosexuality. So both lesbians and gays, they come under the category of homosexuality. Religion is a totally different things in this understanding. For religion, the marriage can be only between male and female, and there is no concept of male-male relationship or female and female relationship. Marriage is an institution which is a legal contract between two partners. Now, whether the homosexuals, they need marriage or not, this is another question. Why they should, the society or the religion should recognize their union? This is another interesting question, that if you are homosexual by nature, by biology, by genes, if it is inside you, you can't do anything. I'm sorry to share with you one thing, that some of my scientist friends, they did an experiment with a gay, and they provided a more a beautiful woman to that gay, and they requested the woman that she should do whatever that man wants, but try to that he should have sexual desire for a woman, and he could not, in spite of all the efforts. And when there was a male, so then that person was totally active in sexual process. This is my personal, we did an experiment, because this gender understanding is something beyond. Sometimes you are so confused that is it natural or it is social? Is it biological or it is by culture? So this is a debate. Still, it is going on, and many people think that this is natural. If you are born gay, you can't do anything with that. And there are many marriages in our society which do not function because the person is gay. He doesn't want a female in his bed, but there is a female and he can do nothing. And then there are so many psychological problems, so many social and other problems. So we being scientists, or we being philosophers, we should try to look at these things from objective point of view, not with prejudices and biases. Try to understand their biology. So we have to understand their biology. This is something which is very interesting, and we should not be. If you are male by nature, so you are male, and if you are female, so you are female, and if you are in between, so you are transgender, and if you are you may be more male and less female, and you may be more female and a little male. These are 5 genders in gender studies. So transgender is when you are beyond the socially constructed gender roles are male and female, and like eunuchs and hijras. I have another lecture on this. You please go and listen to that. So when you are between these two, which is intersex, so then you have to you call it transgender. So please listen to this lecture again, and also read the articles that I posted. Also, you can do your own research and then write your definitions of a social construction of gender, constructionism, category of sex, queer theory, is sex socially determined, to masculinities and feminism. Yes, feminism is not only for female, it can also be for male, and masculinities are the characteristics of male, that they are like more, they have more gallantry, or they are more brave, or they are physically strong, or they have different hormones, and then their behavior and attitude that is different from female. So even male, they also need feminism. They also have their own rights, and there is also a subject which is called men's studies, women's studies, masculinities and feminism. So what you think about psychology can control the mind of both sexes through which we cannot determine that what he or she is, due to which it is difficult to understand them and they hide from inner self. Exactly, psychology is very important. Mind and behavior, they should study their own selves. Spirituality even can be important. They should be self conscious. They should understand their own reality. What is their reality? But when they go outside and they meet other people in society, their companions, their friends, then there is the real problem. Inside, psychology is for you as individual, sociology is for society. So psychologically you can feel to be either male, female, or gay or lesbian or whatever is your sexual orientation. But society role is so important. That's why sometimes religion does not let you to discuss these things. Otherwise, if the people are getting more aware of their sexual orientation, so it will create a lot of problems. I read the other day that in Naushera, there was a lesbian couple, and the family did not let them marry or their union, so they committed suicide. They killed themselves. So these things happen, and now because of communication technology and internet, people are trying to understand even your own selves. Sometimes we don't understand ourselves. Self-consciousness is so difficult thing. You can't understand yourself, your capabilities and your desires and your potential. So your sexuality, your sexual orientation, again, it is a complicated thing. So psychology can help you a lot, but then sociology come, and when you understand that yes, I am a gay or I am a lesbian in our society, so this social construction of gender, this is so complicated. And when you cannot announce it, you cannot declare it, you cannot tell people that I am this and that. And again, I was reading this theory about is sex socially determined too. So the arguments are that majority of people, like more than 90%, 95%, they are either male or female. So there is a very less number of people who are confused. They are ambiguous. They are not clarity of their sex, whether they are what. So this is a reality. They are human beings, but the majority of the human beings, they are either male or female. Fortunately, luckily, this is the reality. When we discuss other genders and sexes, so then that is a very few people in our society. Thank you very much.